Uh, Hello all, welcome to another video, and it has been quite a while since I posted one of these videos. And what can I say, I have been on hiatus. Is that the word? Yeah, I've been away for a while. I've been fairly busy with a few personal things as well as my day job, so it's been fairly demanding, so I just haven't had the time to make a video. And more than my day job, it really has been all the things that have been happening on the personal side of life, the personal aspect of my life. uh, yeah, so we're making another video, and so I'll just quickly go through what have I been up to the last few weeks, and what have I been getting up to, both in terms of my side projects like the Node TypeScript CRUD Nodes app, as well as the React TypeScript to-do-list app, my repositories on GitHub, as well as my blog posts, whether or not I've been writing any new blog posts, and then talk a little bit about what are some of the things that I've been watching. So I think that's a good segue into what I'm about to talk about next, and that is I just watched the new movie Flash. The Flash is awesome. Oh my god, it's so awesome. I was so excited. I am not as young as I used to be, but the fact that I grew up watching comic book films and reading comic books, it was incredible for me to see the Flash realized on the big screen. And like especially for this movie, the Flash storyline that they actually that is inspired from, it's fantastic. I love that storyline. It's the Flashpoint storyline. You know, where Barry Allen, the Flash, goes back in time to save his mom from dying, and how that change caused a ripple effect in the timeline where everything is different when he comes back to the future and all. So yeah, it's fantastic. I loved every bit of it. It was awesome. So I watched that movie on 13th of June 2023 here in Sydney, Australia. And I think I was one of the first people in the world to have a look at that movie, because I felt great. It was fantastic. For those of you who follow the gaming site, the gaming and entertainment site called IGN.com, I think folks from IGN Australia were here at the premiere at the cinema that I watched in. They were here as well. And yeah, the Flash is awesome. And everything about that movie, including some of the surprises that are in store for those who are going to watch it, and some of the callbacks to movies of the past, it's unreal. It's so good. And for those of you who've seen the trailers, know Michael Keaton's Batman. Oh my god, Michael Keaton's Batman. That's awesome. Let's get nuts. He is so cool, and it's just fantastic. And the same thing goes for, oh my god, Supergirl. She's amazing, and she's actually pretty hot. Like it's see for it really does capture that vibe. So when you see Henry Cavill as Superman, Henry Cavill was awesome. He was all buffed up, and it was cool. Sarah, the actor playing, I can't pronounce her full name. Sarah Kai, the girl playing that Supergirl. It's the exact, like, the way you feel about Henry Cavill. You feel like, okay, she's awesome. She's good looking, and she just looks strong. So it's awesome. And plus, and more than anything, Barry Allen, Ezra Miller. Watching two Ezra Millers, it was great. And the movie was actually funny. I mean, we can't really say this about all the movies, and this Zack Snyder DCEU, which I love so much. But the movies in that universe weren't exactly funny per se, but this one's genuinely funny. It's really good. For those of you who are fans of the comic book or the Flash or any of the DC characters, I'd recommend go watch it. If you're watch it just as much if you're a Batman fan, even if you're a bigger Batman fan than The Flash, go watch it. This movie it's nuts. It's good. All right, so that was that. Now that I've done that I've gone on with my I'm done with my fanboy rant. Let me just talk a little bit about some of the work that I've been doing and what I plan to do in the coming weeks. So okay, so in the last few weeks, I've only really had a chance to make one significant update to that Node TypeScript CRUD apps. So when I say significant update, I mean that I actually modified the repository by adding the currency conversion feature. So quick recap, Node TypeScript CRUD nodes is my open source repository. It's a REST API built with NodeJS, Express, and TypeScript, and it has endpoints for to CRUD todo nodes as well as add and modify users, and it integrates with DynamoDB on AWS. So what I've done over the week, one major update that I've made to that repository in the last few weeks is that I've added a currency conversion feature to it. Now, the currency conversion feature, how would that work? So I'm actually using this third-party API called Exchange Rate API, and I've added 3 endpoints to this repository. The first one being, it's just the default exchange rate. So the default exchange rate could be whatever you set it to in your environment variable. So if you call the endpoint domain name / exchange rate / default, it would just give you the exchange rate for whatever currency you've set, whatever currency code that you've set in your environment variable. So if you've set USD, there'll be currency conversions for USD if it's AUD or INR or so on and so forth. The second endpoint is exchange rates, and then you get the country code, like exchange rates by country code. So you supply the country code as a path parameter to get the exchange rate. And the third and the most interesting one that I quite like is that so the endpoint is like you have /convert and then from currency code, so from like it could be AUD, and then followed by /amount, followed by /to, and followed by the to which currency you want to convert it to. So for example, if you want to convert $100 to $100 to Indian rupees, you would do you would call the API like /convert /convert /USD /100 /to /INR, and you would get the value, the conversion value. So that's one of the endpoints that I added. So now the app has got currency conversion feature. Yeah, that's one of the things. So in addition to this, I've also added a completely separate repository on GitHub that just has this currency conversion API. So, and that repository is called Node TypeScript Currency Conversion API. So it's Node _TypeScript _conversion _API. I'll put a link to all of this in the description of this video, so please check it out. And also in terms of the updates that I've been making to my the React TypeScript tutorial is the front end of this the UI for this app. So I made a number of small updates to it, including making sure that the data being saved is unique to every user, and just a number of little tweaks and a number of little fixes. And I've integrated, like, so once we log in and how we save information from the user's Google ID, and then use that to retrieve all the to-dos that the user has added and all the information that the user has added. So I've added all this stuff to this, so please check it out. I'll put a link to the description in the description of this video, so please have a look at all of that. And if you've got any feedback, let me know. Leave a comment in the video, or better, comment on the repository, or leave like a little comment, raise an issue, or so on and so forth. do what you feel is do what you feel works best for you to communicate this with me, and I will do what I can to action it as soon as possible. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. In the next few weeks, what I plan to do is I actually plan to create a Java repository, a Java Spring Boot repository, and I aim to flesh it out a little bit, because that will form the production version of this backend that I'm building, and I'll be deploying that to AWS. And one of the things that I intend to do is that I intend to figure out EC2 deployment, because so far I've been using Elastic Beanstalk on AWS, and from what I've heard, Elastic Beanstalk can be really pricey, so EC2 is not quite as managed as Elastic Beanstalk. So Elastic Beanstalk takes care of a lot of things for you, it simplifies things for you, hence a higher cost. But with EC2 clusters, you need to do a lot of things yourself. You need to configure the environment, the variables, so on and so forth. You need to do all of that yourself, and that makes it harder. It makes it a bit more challenging, hence less cost associated with it. So I'll try to work that out. I'll try to convert all of this into a Java Spring Boot API, and then deploy that to the AWS for my production version of the project that I'm working on. Yeah, and also I intend to add a Swagger file with all the endpoints to the Node TypeScript CRUD nodes backend, because I think it's gotten to a point where having a Swagger file can only help this, because it's getting a bit out of hand. There's more and more endpoints being added to it, and there's quite a bit of information in there now. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video, and thank you for watching this. In case you've ever watched a DC movie ever in your life, I would recommend go watch The Flash. It's awesome, 100%. Or if you've ever been a fan of even Batman, or if you've been a fan of Michael Keaton, please go watch it. It's so good. Yeah. Alright. And other than that, I'll put a link to, in the description of this video, I'll put a link to my blog post, the latest blog post on the Node TypeScript currency conversion API, as well as the repositories that I mentioned in this video. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I wish you well and live long and prosper.